It's deadline day. President Trump has given Iran until 5 p.m. our time to end the war, or the U.S. will, quote, take the entire country out. It's time for the Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. President Trump has offered Iran a deal that includes opening the Strait of Hormuz. Now, if it's declined, Trump says the U.S. will attack bridges, power plants, and other civilian infrastructure in a 4-hour attack.
Where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock.
Trump insists Iran wants a deal, but overnight, an Iranian spokesperson called the president's threats arrogant and baseless. Trump dismissed any concerns that these potential strikes could be considered war crimes. He says he doesn't know if the war is winding down or escalating, instead calling this a critical period. And with the conflict in the Middle East, the cost of gas, it just continues to go up. The national average for gas, it jumped by 2 cents overnight, sitting at $4.14 now. You can see the price here in San Diego. We are still sitting at $5.96. Major delivery companies like Amazon and UPS are now adding temporary fuel surcharges, and OPEC leaders are warning damage to energy facilities in the Middle East could impact the oil supply long after the war ends. We are learning new details now about the dramatic rescue of a U.S. airman in Iran. An American fighter jet was shot down Thursday, and an Air Force colonel was trapped behind enemy lines for 2 days. According to the White House, he climbed thousands of feet up a mountain to hide from Iranian forces. President Trump said the colonel survived despite severe injuries. The military launched a massive rescue mission involving more than 150 warplanes. Special Operation Forces reached him using helicopters. Troops had to destroy 2 of their own cargo planes after they got stuck in wet sand during the rescue, but smaller aircraft safely evacuated the colonel and his rescuers.
And here in San Diego, a Border Patrol agent is pleading not guilty to federal charges for a 2022 shooting in Calexico. Marcos Andrade appeared in court yesterday. He's accused of shooting an unarmed 19-year-old man 8 times. The indictment says Andrade thought the man was smuggling undocumented immigrants, but investigators say the driver was unarmed and not smuggling anyone. The man survived the shooting, but his attorney says it had long-lasting impacts.
He has a permanent disability on one of his hands because of a gunshot wound. He'll have permanent scars.
And court documents show Andrade had been disciplined for firing his weapon twice before. He was placed on administrative leave last Friday, and Andrade is out on bond and due back in court in May. We reached out to CBP for comment, but have not heard back.
Making a change, I think, gives the community the power, to say, we're not going to take it.
And a San Diego City College building named after Cesar Chavez is getting a new identity. The change comes after the recent sex abuse allegations against the late labor leader. The San Diego Community College District Board voted unanimously to temporarily rename the building. It is now called the College of Continuing Education, Harborview Campus. The board also plans to remove all elements connected to Chavez from the campus. And the board president says this is a chance to support survivors and empower the community.
We want to be on the right side of history, and this is an opportunity for us to wake up, to teach the younger generations what's important.
And the district will hold community discussions to find a permanent name. Leaders expect to make a final recommendation this fall, and leaders are also supporting a petition to rename Cesar Chavez Parkway. And fire officials are issuing a new warning about fire season this year after this weekend's fast-moving brush fire in San Marcos. The Maury fire forced evacuations at Cal State San Marcos in a nearby neighborhood. Firefighters stopped the flames in just over an hour, but Cal Fire says smaller fires are already popping up across the county. Below average rain in the region is drying out vegetation earlier than usual, and one fire official says this is a preview of what's to come.
As the weather in the summer progresses, it starts to get drier and the grass starts to turn brown. That's when we start seeing our larger fires and more rapid fire growth. So we're starting to get into that transition right now.
And CAL FIRE is now hiring seasonal firefighters to reach peak staffing. Officials say people should prepare now so they are ready to evacuate if a fire starts.
Before, people used the buy now, pay later payment method to purchase things they wanted to splurge on, like clothes. But lately, people are using this payment plan to purchase everyday items.
I've noticed it is everywhere now. I see it on Amazon, I see it on Etsy, I see it all over the place.
And it's that accessibility and the manageable payment options with no interest fee that Jason Jones says can be dangerous when it comes to the buy now, pay later payment option. It
was really simple to apply. It's basically instant approval. There's no background check, and it was just basically like, here's your information, you're instantly approved, and I got a choice of making 4, 6, 12 payments over the course of time.
Jason used this option to pay for an item he couldn't pay for up front.
I bought some jewelry for my fiance at the time, and I didn't have the money for it, but I really wanted to impress her, and so it was something that I can manage.
While Jason was able to pay his item off in a few months, new data released by LendingTree shows 41% of buy now, pay later users have made at least one late payment in the past year. That's up from 34% previously. This comes as 91.5 million Americans use the buy now, pay later option in 2025. Tara Alderetti with Money Management International, a nonprofit focused on debt management, says consumers need to be careful of these late payments as they can result in a hit to your credit score and oftentimes late fees.
If you miss a payment, then late fees can apply. And the thing about the late fees is that they're different based on the buy now, pay later service. And the amount that you owe, so those fees can fluctuate.
Jason, who has gotten help from Money Management International to get his debt under control, says while the option of buy now, pay later is convenient, he still focuses on budgeting his money, making sure the funds are readily available for his day-to-day purchases.
I'm very careful with what I use it for. Like, I wouldn't use it for groceries. I don't think I would use it for something that I should be able to save up a little bit for.
Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Okay, this has been so cool to watch, and the Artemis 2, it's officially heading back to Earth. The crew finished up their historic trip around the moon yesterday. The 4 astronauts traveled deeper into space than ever before. They broke the distance record set by the Apollo 13 mission back in 1970. The crew spent several hours observing the far side of the moon. They captured high image resolution images, and they even saw a total solar eclipse. Now, during that flight, the team shared a pretty emotional moment. They suggested naming a newly discovered crater after mission commander Reed Wiseman's late wife, who passed away from cancer.
It's a bright spot on the moon, and we would like to call it Carol.
I watched that video several times. I mean, it's impossible not to tear up. The whole crew there was tearing up. President Trump called the crew overnight to congratulate them. The astronauts will get some much needed rest today as they continue their journey home.
And the college basketball season wrapped up in Indianapolis as UConn faced Michigan. The Huskies going for their 3rd title in 4 years and keeping it close against the favored Wolverines thanks to 17 points from Alex Caravan. But Michigan was one of the most dominant teams all season long, including a 40-point win over San Diego State. They had finished the job with a 69-63 win, earning their 2nd title in program history. That's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.